Do you dread going to work every day? It might be more than just the Monday blues. Check out these 10 red flags that could indicate your work environment is a toxic cesspool, and learn how to protect yourself from the poison. Welcome to Beginner's Friend. In today's video, we'll be discussing a topic that affects far too many of us: toxic workplaces. A toxic work environment can be defined as a place where the culture, management, and employees are actively contributing to negative and unhealthy working conditions. Unfortunately, it's all too easy to find yourself in a toxic workplace, whether it's due to a difficult boss, toxic colleagues, or just a company culture that prioritizes profit over people. But the consequences of a toxic workplace go far beyond just an unpleasant workday. In fact, a toxic work environment can be incredibly damaging to your mental health, your personal life, and your overall well-being. It can destroy your self-confidence, stifle your creativity, and lead to serious mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. In this video, we'll be exploring the top 10 signs that your workplace may be toxic, so that you can recognize the warning signs and take steps to protect yourself. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Sign number 1: lack of trust and communication. The first clue that your workplace might be toxic is when things aren't clear and people don't talk enough. In these places, employees often don't know about important decisions or changes, and bosses hardly talk to their team. This lack of clearness can make people feel like they can't trust each other, get really frustrated, and feel worried. Good communication and helpful feedback are super important for getting better at your job. But in a toxic workplace, talking to each other is hard, and when feedback does happen, it's usually not nice or useful. This lack of talking and support can slow down how well you do your job. Imagine this: you're working in an office where nobody trusts each other or talks openly. Your ideas get ignored, and your co-workers don't work together, they gossip and act mean. If this sounds familiar, it's a big warning sign that your workplace might be toxic. Good communication and trust are like the strong base of a good work environment. When people can't talk well or understand each other, it can make things confusing and bad. In a toxic workplace, talking isn't good or sometimes doesn't happen at all. Managers and co-workers might not get along, leading to confusion and fights. This lack of talking can make everyone feel really confused and upset, which isn't good for getting work done. Another sign of a toxic workplace is when nobody tells you what they expect from you. This can make you feel really lost and not want to work hard. Bosses should tell their team what they want so everyone knows what to do and feels good about their job. Sign number 2: excessive micromanagement. Do you know that feeling when your boss watches your every move, demanding constant updates, and leaving no space for you to do things your way? It's like someone always peeking over your shoulder, right? Well, that's what we call micromanagement. It's when your boss is overly controlling, asking for detailed reports, and not letting you take the lead. This kind of behavior doesn't just shake your confidence, but also stops your creative ideas from blooming. It's stressful, causes anxiety, and makes you feel like you're not trusted to do your job properly. It might mean your workplace isn't as healthy as it should be. In a good workplace, there's trust and openness. But when bosses hold back information, pick favorites, or don't talk straight, it brews suspicion and bad feelings. Imagine feeling like every step you take is being watched and judged. That's what happens when a boss is too caught up in micromanaging. It's frustrating and shows they don't believe in your skills. Micromanagement isn't just annoying, it can turn a workplace toxic. When bosses don't let employees do their work their way, it leads to stress and demotivation. This, in turn, brings down everyone's mood and performance. Always remember, in places where trust is low, the atmosphere can feel heavy, like a cloud hanging over everyone's heads. Sign number 3: bullying and harassment. In a toxic work environment, discrimination and harassment are often tolerated or even encouraged. This can be extremely damaging to an employee's mental health and make it hard to do their job well. Companies should say no to this mean stuff and make sure everyone feels safe and respected at work. Yes, it's a sad reality, but workplace bullying and harassment still exist. If someone says mean things to you, makes fun of you, or treats you unfairly because of who you are, it's important to understand that these are bad behaviors. Remember, you deserve to feel good and be treated nicely at work, and make sure no one should have to deal with mean or hurtful behavior there. If you see or go through mean behavior often, whether it's with words, actions, or feelings, it means your workplace is not good. Mean behavior like this shows that the work environment is bad. There are many types of this bad behavior, like when someone makes you uncomfortable because of your gender, race, or when someone is mean to you. When people are treated badly because of who they are, it can really hurt how they feel inside. Any type of mean behavior at work is not okay. If you feel like someone is picking on you, making you feel small, or being mean to you, it's important to tell someone and take steps to keep yourself safe. If you're being bullied or harassed at work, it can lead to depression, anxiety, and even post-traumatic stress disorder. If this happens to you, it's important to tell someone in charge right away. Such behavior not only affects your mental health, but also hinders your professional development. Sign number 4, unrealistic workload and expectations. Are you drowning in an overwhelming workload with unrealistic deadlines? If your days seem never-ending and your boss keeps loading you up with tasks without considering your capabilities or work-life balance, it's time to speak up. Stress that never goes away and feeling totally worn out can cause serious health problems if you don't take action. When what's expected from you is just too much or doesn't make sense, it can really get you down. Constantly being pushed to do things that are way beyond what you can handle, or being told to do conflicting things, can make you doubt yourself. Always remember that a bad workplace doesn't help you succeed, it sets you up to fail. When bosses ask for too much and don't care about what you can actually do, it makes the workplace stressful and bad for your health. If it always feels like you're expected to do more with less, that can make you feel burnt out and overwhelmed. In a bad work setting, they expect way too much and it's just not fair. If your boss keeps setting impossible goals, it's really stressful and can even make you feel burned out. It's important to know what's expected of you, and if it's too much, that's a sign your workplace isn't good for you. Management needs to be fair about what they expect and give you what you need to do your job well. Sign number 5, lack of growth opportunities. When employees don't feel supported, it's a sign something's wrong at work. This might show up in different ways, like not getting enough training, not having the right tools, or not feeling emotionally backed up. When employees feel unsupported, it can make them stressed, overwhelmed, and exhausted. A job that stops you from growing is like a toxic trap. If you've been in the same role for years without moving up or learning new things, it's time to rethink things. A good job should help you grow both personally and professionally by giving you training, guidance, and chances to move ahead. Growing and getting better at what you do is super important for any job. If your job doesn't give you chances to learn, grow, or get better, it might leave you feeling stuck and unhappy. A bad work setup often cares more about quick wins than helping employees grow in the long run. Feeling stuck in your job can really kill your motivation and make you feel disconnected. If your job doesn't offer chances to improve, learn, or grow, it could be a sign of a bad situation. Toxic work often means no support from bosses or colleagues. Having a team that supports you at work, where you can talk about problems openly, is key. If you're not getting the help you need to do your job well, it can make you feel frustrated, anxious, or even down. Always remember, having a team that's got your back is super important, and if you don't have that, it's a clear sign something's wrong at work. Sign number 6, gossiping and rumors. A toxic work environment often has a lot of gossip and rumors floating around. This can really bring down the mood and make it hard for people to work well. To make a good workplace, we need to keep things professional and treat each other with respect. When gossip and rumors spread, it's a sign that things might not be healthy at work. They create an atmosphere where people don't trust each other, feel unhappy, and get scared. This can make it tough for everyone to do their best at work. It might even make some people feel left out or like they don't belong. If you see lots of gossip and rumors at your job, it's important to deal with it. We should try to make the workplace nicer and more respectful for everyone. Sign number 7. High turnover rates. If your workplace has a high turnover rate, it might mean something's not right. Maybe the way things are run by the bosses isn't great, or there's not enough help and positivity around. Have you seen many folks come and go at your workplace? If so, there could be some serious underlying problems causing this. Always keep this in mind: people usually don't leave jobs they like. They leave because the work environment isn't good for them. If your co-workers are leaving or getting fired a lot, it's a big signal that things need to change at your workplace. When workers keep leaving, it shows they might not be happy, supported, or dealing with good conditions. Recognizing this sign is super important when the talent keeps coming and going like a revolving door. If folks are constantly saying goodbye to your company, something's definitely off. There are many reasons for a high turnover rate, like bad management, no chances to grow, or just a really bad vibe in the workplace. When people keep leaving the company, it could mean the company isn't taking care of them, or that the atmosphere is toxic. High turnover might happen because workers are not appreciated, they are being watched too closely, or they are even facing harassment. Sign number 8. Lack of work-life balance. Balancing your job with your personal life is super important for feeling good overall. But if your job makes you work too much, says no to your vacation plans, or makes you feel bad for focusing on your personal life, it's a recipe for burnout. A good job place understands that you need time to chill and helps you keep a good balance between work and your personal life. But in a toxic workplace, long working hours, constant pressure to be available outside of regular hours, and the absence of support for personal commitments can lead to burnout and negatively impact your quality of life. When you're feeling totally swamped with work or pressured to meet impossible deadlines, that's a sign that something isn't right. A good job cares about how well you're doing both at work and in your personal life, but a bad one doesn't care much about how you're feeling. When a job expects you to work non-stop, even on weekends, or be reachable all the time, it's a bad sign. This kind of pressure can make you really stressed, exhausted, and mess with your mental health. Bosses should really think about how they can help you have a good balance between your work and personal life, and they should care about how you're doing overall. If your job doesn't care about this, it can really stress you out and make you feel totally exhausted. Always remember, if you're always working super long hours and can't enjoy your personal life because of work, that's a clear sign of a toxic workplace. Sign number 9. Favoritism and lack of recognition. Does it feel like some people get special treatment at work while others don't? This happens in toxic workplaces where fairness is missing. When you're not appreciated, even if you work hard, it can make you feel down. Healthy competition is good for growth, but a toxic workplace turns it into a bad game. When co-workers don't support each other, take credit for your ideas, or get into office drama, it makes things unfriendly. Getting ignored or not getting credit for your efforts is a big sign something's wrong. If you feel like your hard work doesn't matter or your successes are ignored, it can make you upset and less interested in your job. When bosses show favoritism, it creates problems. If promotions or good opportunities go to friends instead of deserving people, that's not fair. This can be extremely demotivating and ultimately affect productivity. Office politics make work like a competition, which can lead to gossip and hurt feelings. In a bad work setting, hard work often goes unnoticed, making it hard to keep going. Management should thank employees for their hard work. When bosses favor some people over others, it's a bad sign. This causes problems among workers and makes the place bad. Everyone should be treated the same, no matter what job they do. If your hard work isn't seen, it can make you feel bad, lose motivation, and even get sad. A good workplace should notice and reward hard work. Favors at work make it bad for everyone. This makes people not trust each other and feel bad. Employers need to be fair and equal. When employees are not given feedback or recognition for their work, it's a bad sign. This makes people unhappy, work poorly, and leave their jobs a lot. Sign number 10. Poor leadership. Lastly, in workplaces where things are toxic, a big issue is usually bad leadership. When bosses don't understand, ignore what employees worry about, and rule by scaring people instead of motivating them, it makes the whole place toxic. Good leaders are the ones who make their team feel excited, push them to do better, and stand by them when they need help. Having a good leader is super important for a happy workplace. But in toxic workplaces, leaders might not care about others, control everything too much, or misuse their power. These leaders make everyone scared and stop folks from growing in their job and as people. In these places, blaming and criticizing are how they try to get people to work, making everyone worried and scared to say anything or mess up. That makes people not want to work hard, do poorly, and leave their jobs a lot. If your boss is toxic, it can really mess with how you feel about work, how much you trust them, and might even make you quit. Always remember, having a leader who supports you, is someone you can trust, and really cares about you is super important. And there you have it. If you resonate with any of the 10 signs we discussed, it's important to reflect on your situation and consider taking necessary steps to address the toxicity. Always remember, you deserve to work in an environment that promotes your personal and professional success, rather than destroying your life. And watch this video to discover the 9 game-changing techniques to boost your mental strength and resilience, because a strong mind can conquer any challenge life throws your way.